Hey everyone, we hope you're doing well, staying warm. Well, we just wanted to come and give you guys a quick update just on how we've been doing. We've been really happy to get some good feedback from all of you who've been watching our videos. If you guys haven't seen our previous videos, we have a series where we talk about why we moved here to Scotland and how our travel and self-isolation was like, and we'll link that somewhere if you haven't seen it yet. But in this video, we just really wanted to share what the last few months have been like. It's been, I think, about a month since our last video, and so now in December, it's been about almost 3 months since we moved here to Scotland. We just wanted to share what we've been up to, some of the things that we've seen, done in the city, and our experience so far, and just bring you guys along with that. After self-isolation, I think setting the flat up was kind of the next step. We had a lot of things come in, just online, getting it shipped during self-isolation, and so I know you guys saw in our last videos we kind of showed our empty flat. Looks a lot different since then, and then we'll hope to do another flat tour soon. We know a lot of people have been asking. But yeah, getting things set up involved a trip to IKEA. I think that was the first things we did after coming out of self-isolation.
The meatballs.
Yeah, I don't know, like I feel like now, like wherever you go, as long as there's an IKEA, there's that like sense of home there, like getting the meatballs, walking around the showroom. That was a lot of fun. I think now that we have our own place too, being able to start thinking about like what we want our place to look like, the vibe that we want it to have. Something that I never really thought about before, living in like a dorm or in like a college house, but I guess we're like adults now.
Yeah, no, I think it's been fun to like decorate. I think that's like one of the things that you never really, like you do like the photos and stuff in the dorm room, but like you don't get to like, you don't go all out with like pillows or like that kind of stuff.
I mean, at least for me, we weren't trying to make the place homey.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So now it's like, it's fun that it's our own.
Yeah, we got a Christmas tree like last weekend. We'll show you guys that later. But yeah, after we got out of self-isolation, Rebecca was pretty much getting ready for tests, right, with school. But I had like 1 free week after self-isolation before work. And so kind of just took that time to remember what it was like. And then I started work at the beginning of October. And it's been about, I think, almost 2 months since then. But it's been really good. I think for me, I always like to find something to do with my time. I find it difficult to sit around, and so it was nice to get back into a team, meet a bunch of new people, and it's been a really cool journey. I think there's a lot of different things you go through, I think as a new graduate especially, which I'd love to talk about like in the future. But it's been a good experience, definitely learning a whole lot. It's funny, like even once you graduate, like the learning isn't over. Pretty much just been learning nonstop for the next 2 months, and I don't think that's gonna slow down anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, I also started school started school here about the same time that you were starting work. I think it was nice to like finally put names to faces that I've been like texting with like for the previous month before we moved here. It was really nice to go see the campus in person. We both went at one point to take some photos for my white coat ceremony. But it's a super nice campus, even though we only get to go on campus once a week for our practicals and labs and that kind of stuff. It's super nice to like be with people and be able to like go in there with the animals and like do hands-on things, which I know a lot of students don't get to do right now, which I do feel very blessed to at least have that 1 week.
So a lot of people have been asking us like what's it been like just adjusting to the UK, and I think honestly now that we're looking back at it, the culture shock hasn't been really too bad at all. I think the fact that we moved to like a Western English speaking nation meant that like most things are the same except they drive on the other side of the street, the power plugs are different, but it hasn't been too bad. Honestly, Edinburgh is a very international city. I think that was something that was surprised us a little bit at the beginning in a really, really good way. Like we can get whatever food we're looking for, so much better than Slough. I think super diverse. Everywhere we go, from like our church and our small group to like my job at work, there's like someone from like every country, and it's really nice to be able to meet more of an international audience even than we were exposed to in the US. And so honestly, the adjustment hasn't been too bad at all. I mean, in terms of like immediate differences, I think the weather has been the biggest change, but we also come from California, and so it is a little bit chillier and windier. We're heading into December as well, and so we're expecting a little bit more of that, but we're hoping to grow a thicker skin. I think we haven't really had to deal with weather at all really growing up, and so it'll be kind of a good change as well. And then there's like some more differences here and there, but we're definitely trying to like compile a list, and then maybe in the future we'll be able to put together, I guess, like a more comprehensive look at like our experience, comparing that to the US. So yeah, I guess keep an eye out for that. But yeah, moving on from adjustments, we just wanted to talk about what's been really great and what's been a blessing for us the past few months. And I think honestly the biggest thing is just being able to find community immediately. I think coming from like college, university, a community was always like a big part of our day-to-day life, our rhythms, and so that was really important for us. And so we were able to find a church, join a small group pretty much from the get-go, and I think at least having that weekly rhythm and those like friendly faces and people to meet, I think have been a really big blessing to me. And then finally being able to meet some people in person and hang out has been definitely a big highlight of our time here so far.
Yeah, I think in addition to small groups, it's also been really nice to just like have our online church every weekend and be able to connect with people over that. I think also we've been able to go in person to church about once a month as the services rotate to our location that we're closest to, but I think it's been super sweet to just kind of get plugged in. Josiah's been volunteering for church and getting all involved in the church online stuff, so that has been really, really sweet that we've both been able to do that.
Another big highlight of the past few months is just being able to explore the city. I know the pandemic and everything, it's a lot more difficult, but luckily there's a lot of things that are still open and available throughout the city. A lot of things are outdoors as well. And so we live near Arthur's Seat, which is like a local hike that kind of goes up an extinct volcano near us. And so we did that in the first probably couple weeks we were out.
Yeah.
Once our friend Hannah came, and so it was nice being able to hike with her and get a really nice panoramic look at the city.
Yeah. I think another highlight was that we went on one of those like city bus tours that you can like hop on, hop off at different places. So we did one of those one Saturday, also with Kenna. And just got to explore a couple different places that were like pretty close to the city, but we got all the way out to like, there's like this bridge area, there's a botanical garden, like we had just a really good time to like explore the city and see these sites all in one day. Another place we also checked out was the National Museum. They had Dolly the sheep there. My highlight by far.
Who's Dolly?
Dolly the sheep, if for those of you who don't know, is the sheep that was genetically cloned at Roslyn University, which is at the University of Edinburgh, so we'll plug.
Some of the other weekends we were able to go see the National Gallery, and so got to see art, and didn't imagine spending my weekends doing that, but it was super cool. There's some really fun paintings. Not fun, but
yeah, they're nice.
They're nice, yeah. We also went to the Palace of Holyrood House, and so it's actually a working palace. The Queen comes every year to Scotland. Since we're in the capital, there's a working palace here, and when she's not here, you can do tours, and so it's really cool to kind of see the history through that as well.
Yeah, and then just a couple weekends ago, we were able to go on a little day trip with a couple other vet students to North Berwick, which is just like on the east coast of Scotland, about an hour or so away from us. We saw this lovely castle. It was kind of in ruins, but it was on the coast and it had a beautiful view. And then we also got to take a walk on the beach, which kind of reminded us of home, and that was really sweet. I got to see the sunset at like 3:30 p.m.
Yeah, that's like kind of a good transition into, I guess, what has been so great. Like it's been pretty nice so far, but I think one of the big differences also in the season is it gets dark like super early. Literally by 4 p.m. it's pitch black pretty much. And the fact that we're all like working remotely or taking classes remotely, we're inside on our computers all day, and so it's kind of like you wake up, you go to work, and then by the time you're off work, it's dark. And I think we definitely realized that if you don't wake up earlier, take advantage of that sunlight, it definitely just feels like it's dark all the time. Yeah. I think with the pandemic still going on as well, we've been really fortunate that at least Scotland has kind of taken a very proactive response to it. We've been like on a 5-tiered system. I think it isn't like under control, but it's not too bad. It hasn't exploded here yet. And so with those restrictions, I think it's been a little bit more difficult to plan as well, since we don't know how things might change week to week. And so not the worst thing in the world. As you can see, we've still been able to do a lot, see a lot, hopefully share those pictures with you here on social media. But it is something that we have to be aware of as well.
Yeah, we had this Highland tour plan to go to the Isle of Skye for a weekend back in November, and literally like 2 weeks before we had already like bought the tickets and like everything, like shut her down, and we had to get a refund, and I was super bummed about that. But like Josiah said, like we are still really blessed to be able to go and just see places in the city. Like we said before, it's so big and there's so many things to do, and we should just really take advantage of that. But yeah, COVID has made things hard to plan, but I think we're just trying to make the most of it right now.
Definitely. And I think the last thing really is just being away from like friends and family, especially in this like holiday season. It's like the week after Thanksgiving, and they don't celebrate American Thanksgiving here. Surprise, I guess. But like the week came out, we're like, oh shoot, it's Thanksgiving, and so we had to like celebrate just kind of with ourselves, but it was still good. I think it's just hard not to be there in person, but we know that Thanksgiving looks a lot different for everyone, even in America, coming up on Christmas as well. It'll kind of just be us, but I think we're really grateful to have each other. But yeah, overall, I mean, it's been a crazy journey. I think 2020 has been a very strange year in so many ways, as we all know. But we still moved in the middle of the pandemic here to Scotland. We'll be here for the next 4 years or so-ish. It's been good so far. We've been really happy to be able to have video chats, text messages with a lot of our friends, all of you guys. And so, yeah, definitely reach out if you want to chat. We're here. We're just 8 hours ahead. But yeah, we're doing well, and we look forward now to continue sharing more of these adventures and updates with you. Yeah.
See you guys later.